What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer, guys, back in again. More Colony, more Halo Wars 2 action. We're jumping into some 1v1 ranked multiplayer. So I will say this up front. Colony has actually been the one leader that I'm trying to kind of perfect my strategy with. I've been trying out some different things. I've been continuing to work my build order. Continue to try to figure out and see if I could work a build order to get any more proficient with this leader, because I do, having played so many games already with him, 2v2s, 1v1s, running blitz, I found that I not only really enjoy him, but he's a pretty strong leader, and I think has the capability to be one of the better leaders in the game. So I do want to continue to explore that. I've realized that the one thing that I haven't been doing that a lot of people do, that's a smart move, I just said do, so you guys can laugh at that, but is to make a chopper up front. Now, the reason I had been staying away from building the chopper initially was because I didn't want to affect my build order, which has always been 2 supply pads and 2 generators. Now, I am realizing that I can do these things more efficiently, so I can build that chopper. While it does take a little bit of energy, I think my preferred build order, although I didn't do it here, my preferred build order is going to be harvester, generator, harvester, generator. The reason I say that is because I want to be able to upgrade my harvesters almost instantaneously once they're built. And if I can do that, that allows me to, pump out the supplies, which then essentially leads me to be able to do more energy. My other strategy has kind of geared towards the fact of I want to see if they're going to rush, and if they are, I'm going to play, I'm going to do what I need to do in order to combat that, which for me is either going to be building choppers with skitterers, or I'll just kind of go an infantry spam. I think that works. This match I didn't see that. I didn't see the push initially up front. Usually they expand a little bit quicker than that, so I knew I had some time to base build. Base expansion, again, for those of you that have been around a little while and watch the channel know that's what I do, and I think I do it pretty well. I'm becoming a big fan of doing the mini bases initially, trying to get set up a little bit, especially get some defense on the first base, and then from there kind of see what the army is going to be. This guy's kind of running. I can see he's actually kind of going for a little bit of a spammy type of, he's doing a mix of infantry and choppers, so I can kind of see that that's probably what I'm going to be facing. So at this point, again, I know I'm going to have to do the base defense. If I can defend my base and repel a few attacks, I should actually be okay, and that's kind of what I'm setting up to do here. And I realize with this, especially with Colony, or really with any banished leader, if you can get to the cloaking generator, if you can get to level 3 on your headquarters and you can get to the cloaking generator, I actually think you set yourself up really well, especially when you start to see armies like I'm seeing right here. Now, with this guy playing banished, that means that he's going to have to make a shroud, or he's going to have to make an engineer, or something else with detect in order to see that. That's kind of the route I'm going. I also really, again, I like to play kind of a mid-range strategy, so I want to be able to get some upgrades. I want to get ahead in the ability to produce units, and so that's kind of where I'm going to go. At this point, I feel pretty safe, although I know he's pumping out a lot of units. If he was going to attack my base with what he had, I think he would have pushed it already. I feel pretty safe getting a second base up. Again, I'm going to continue to pump out. I'm really just looking supplies and energy, supplies and energy. I've built some grunts over here. I want to move them in, be able to take out and grab some of these power nodes, and at this point he does start to attack me. 2 turrets is actually a really good defense for the most part, especially for this stuff. He doesn't have any of that stuff upgraded. If he had like shrapnel rounds or anything like that, I think I would be in trouble. I am going to start to make, I kind of am undecisive here, but I do decide to make some of the grunts just to help the defense a little bit. Again, the turrets, they soak up a good amount of damage. I grabbed this power node here. I'm going to just start moving some units over. I think I felt like I would be okay and safe enough at this point. He does a good job of using the chopper ram right there. He does have, I mean, he's going to continue to bring some of that stuff in, which is fine. I do like putting the leader point into Engineer Swarm, especially if you start to get attacked early, because especially with some of these more rush type tactics. I mean, we're at 5 minutes, he's already attacking my main base. If you can heal and you can sustain, they're so focused on pumping out small units. I do think that you can get ahead. So I do decide to bring everybody over. The Hunter Captain, that's the other reason that I'm really liking Colony as a leader, because he's hard to take down, and he can really deal out some good damage. He can soak up a lot of damage, and he's a hard target to take down. So by being able to get him in the fight and kind of keep him up, I feel like you can really kind of repel some strategies. Now, again, this guy's continuing to send. I'm going to Engineer Swarm up. I'm going to keep some of this stuff alive. I'm going to keep the Hunter Captain alive, and then here, boom, we get to it. Hunter's Brand is the next point that we drop in, and this thing is brutal. I do a terrible job on the placement, but as you can see, it takes out enough, it weakens enough that it's actually going to really help me to repel this attack. And repelling this first attack is huge, because at this point, I've now upgraded my headquarters. I'm going to continue to make some units, but I do think that I really do think that I kind of start to get ahead here, which is what we want to see. My game freezes up, so I apologize for this, but at this point I've repelled that first attack. I can make some pretty smart decisions, I think, as far as what I want to continue to build. I do like going the air route, although granted I do understand it's weak against kind of the infantry. I am going to get the second turret up, and I do want to do the base defense piece here. Now I've got this second base. I'm going to try to get this up and upgraded, and really just so it can put some turrets on it so it can defend itself. If I can get at least a little bit of value out of that second base, that's going to be critical for me. And here I realize I do want to get energy. I've repelled that first attack. He's probably going to take some time. At this point I really did assume he was going to take some time to rebuild maybe a different force. That clearly didn't work, so I kind of wanted to see what he was going to do there. And you know, I've built in some harvesters, and I'm going to just pump out a couple engineers, a couple banshees, a couple shrouds, just to give myself some diversity for being able to you know, stop another wave of attack. Essentially, I'm waiting for this base to get upgraded here, and once it does, I'm going to try to put a few extra things on here. I do want power. I realize that I do need to try to get to the cloaking generator. I don't do it very efficiently in this game, but I realize if I can get there, and if that's the same army that he brings, I'm going to be in good position. So that's kind of what I'm moving forward and towards. But again, I do want to defend this base. I've got 2 harvesters here. If I upgrade them, I'm going to get a power extractor going. And that's going to be enough value for me to spend the resources to defend that base. Having some diversity here with some units is always good. And again, I do like putting the shrouds and putting some different stuff on there. And I realize, you know, I could go, I think I do shield generator, because again, it just gives the base a little bit more capability. And here, this other leader point, I like putting it either into Engineer Swarm or into the Hunter's Brand, like I did. Hunter's Brand, I think if you can get it leveled up and get it to 3, I think you're doing pretty good. It does do a good amount of damage. It does recharge pretty quickly, which I obviously like. And again, I haven't seen another attack. I haven't been scouting very well, I'll be honest about that. So that's something that you can improve on. But as you guys know, again, if I can do the base expansion, I'm gonna, which is what I'm pushing for here. Some wasted resources, I think, because I think he ends up coming in immediately after this, swooping in and attacking me. But it is what it is. He's building that mini base, which actually surprised me just a little bit, because I didn't think he would be much into the base build with that strategy. But at this point, once I see that, I'm like, okay, maybe he is actually trying to diversify, trying to do something a little bit different here. We do get to headquarters level 3, which I'm happy about, and I feel like we're making some pretty good progress moving forward with kind of our plan. And in this second base for me, again, it's a lot of supplies and resources. Putting some extra turrets on there is going to help me defend. Now I see that he's bringing in literally the same army. So at this point, I'm like, okay, he's not diversified at all. I definitely need to get probably a few more units to help defend myself. But I'm also going to just hopefully wait, get headquarters 3 up. I'm going to continue to expand and actually try to get around him a little bit. And I'm just going to get that cloaking generator up. If I can get that cloaking generator up, then his strategy is going to be kind of non-existent, to be honest. And that's what we're pushing for here. And again, the nice thing having that Apex, it just cost me supplies to run the Banshees, which is what I want to do. So this is actually a pretty cheeky game here at the end. He brings his forces in. Again, I've got some diversity. I've got a little bit. I've got some Shrouds. I've got my Hunter Captain over there. I've got a couple Banshees up, some Engineers to help me. I'm going to cloak my units here, which is the other reason that I like bringing the Shroud in. Not a very good Hunter's Brand again. Not very good placement for this. And then I realized, okay, he's moving in. He knows none of his units can actually see and attack what I have right now, which is just awesome. And he's trying to hit this cloaking generator hard because he knows if that goes up, he's not doing a thing. So I call an Engineer Swarm. I'm like counting it down. Boom, seconds come. It pops up. And we do a little bit more destruction here. And then I'm pretty sure this guy quits, which is really awesome. So good game. Like I said, that's kind of been my strategy. Kind of moving forward. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've been Doc, the Average Gamer, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, as always, make sure to subscribe, follow us on Twitter, join the Average Gamer Guys Club. Boom, there's our victory. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the strategy. Let me know what you've been seeing in multiplayer. Be really interested to hear that. And what you've been doing as far as 1v1 strategies using the colony. Again, thanks for watching. Check in the next one.